I did World on Fire.
Wait, was I meant to do Discog Dive this week? No.
No, you did
Yeah.
like Drake's mixtapes or some shit last week.
I know.
So yeah, I did World on Fire by 24 Hours, which just reminds me of All Star by Smash Mouth.
Some song.
But it wasn't actually too bad, this one. A lot of artists similar to 24 Hours like sound good for like one or two songs, and then the rest of the album is just like, I've heard this already. And this album was a little bit like that at times, but he did have enough diversity throughout to like not get that effect. About 60% of the songs was about females,
Right.
with lyrics like, I'm on the block, pick you up round 10 o'clock, and you're riding through my mind like a motorcycle. You know, just some incredible writing right there. Both Kanye and Kendrick wish they could be that clever. But there were actually a lot of songs that stood out. Stranger in the Mirror, for example. He writes, I've been sleeping with my gun at night, paranoid, I've been worried about my life. Till then, forever, God, tell me what's the price, which is actually pretty hard. But obviously with an artist like 20, it's not the lyricism that makes his tracks stick out. It's like the melody and the features. He actually had a DMX feature, and his deep voice sounded really good next to 20's.
Give it to you.
Yep. But it was DMX who brought it back down. His verse didn't start out too bad. You want to get your back broke, come on by. But he goes like, come on, bah! But towards the end, it was just awkward and quite lazy. That's why I'm telling you to leave me alone. Bitch, you groan. Why you playing on your neighbour phone? I'll admit, while it was own, we was in the zone. But you got me fucked up, you better call Tyrone.
Tyrone.
That's...
Tyrone gets a shout out in this week's episode. That's my uncle's name.
I used to know a South African boy called Tyrone.
I'm just kidding. I don't know anyone named Tyrone.
What's his last name?
Mate, don't
I'll
believe
be...
that.
One feature I actually did not like at all was Salma Slims on Moonlight.
Moonlight, Starlight,
She was really, really good. But I'll play her verse and you'll see why I don't like it. She comes in at 2 minutes 15, or like 2 minutes 17, something like that.
Right.
But you'll see exactly why I don't like it. So I'll play it from 2:15. So that sounds pretty good.
It sounds like
Wait, hold up. That's it. That's her verse. It's literally 9 seconds long.
it reminds me of like when you bring it go back to the start of it. So rewind 10 seconds. I thought it was
sounds
like you know when like producers put their like tag under it when they
Yeah.
don't want you to steal their beat. It's like this is Cash Money Records. That's what it sounded like to me at the start.
But I can't believe it's 9 seconds long.
Yeah.
Like, that is just... Yeah. That has to be the shortest verse I've ever heard in my life. On Pick It Up, which was just like a bit of a flex song, he had his brother on the track, Made in Tokyo. Did not know they were brothers.
Made in Tokyo and 24 Hours. There you go.
Yeah, 24 hours. They sound really similar, which kind of goes against the idea of a feature, but, you know, considering it's his brother, you know, sort of gets a bit of a pass.
Yep.
But it would have been good if they did something a little bit more creative than a flex song. Like, they could have talked about their childhood, you know, growing up. There was literally nothing in the song to indicate they knew each other. They were both just talking about jewellery and not, like, in the slightest acknowledging what the other one was saying.
So how do you know that they were brothers?
24 Hours said, oh, me and my brother did this song.
Right. And he's not talking about like his
Producer or
his
something.
homie.
No.
No.
No, there's
His
like...
literal brother.
Yeah, I looked at... I forget which song it was for, but he went on Genius to talk behind the lyrics. He's actually got a really deep voice.
Right.
For someone who sings quite high, he's got a deep voice.
Right.
But he said that, yeah, my brother Made in Tokyo.
Right, there you go.
I'm like, oh, okay.
There you go.
I don't know who's older. But yeah, it would have been cool if they did something a bit more along the lines of, a brothership. He's got one feature left, but I'll get to that in a little bit. I want to talk about production first. The whole album was produced by James Royo, and you could tell it was just bought, or 40 beats were sent, and he was sort of just picking them.
Right.
They were quite generic, and I could hear Uzi, Nav, all those guys sort of rapping on it, and there was little to no personalization in the beats. Nothing to sort of say, oh, this is a 24 Hours beat. If you hear the start of any Travis Scott song, any Frank Ocean song, you know, oh, yeah, this is probably Travis Scott here.
Yeah.
But
you don't get that.
It could be anyone on this one.
Right.
But that's obviously they've been around for a lot longer, but they've got their own sound, and 20 needs to sort of work towards that. He had 2 tracks where there was a second producer. There was Leave Me Alone, which had Boombox Cartel on it.
A cool name.
That is. He's actually an electronic producer. And you could tell that there was a second producer, because at the end, there was a 30-second long synth breakdown that sounded really good. So that was a little artistic twist that the rest of the beats didn't have. It was just when he finishes, the beat fades out, and that's it.
A little bit of artistic flair on there.
Yeah, exactly. But the last track, though, is amazing. It's got K Swisher as the co-producer, and Wiz Khalifa as the feature.
Haven't heard of Wiz Khalifa in a hot minute.
I think the last one would be the album of his that I reviewed.
Don't even remember that. Literally don't.
It was a collab with Currency, I believe.
Yeah, probably.
And he's definitely perfect for this song. It's called 9/11, and it's called that because 20 says, "Someone please call 9/11. I smoked up all my damn weed."
I always get... Because that's when September 11 is also 9...
That's what it's called, yeah.
9/11.
Because it's the 9th month. And the
Yeah.
11th day.
And it's also a car, and it's also the...
Emergency service.
Yeah. Because I got confused when I was younger when they were like, I'm riding in the 911 or something. I very distinctly remember either 50 Cent
Okay.
or Dr. Dre or Eminem. I don't think it would be an Eminem. I don't think he's ever talked about a car in his life. But one of them talking about in the 911, and I was like, he's talking about the planes crashing. I was like, what? But then I found out later.
Yeah. Yeah, the Porsche 911.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's definitely a song suited for Wiz.
Right.
But this track wasn't at all Pick It Up with Made in Tokyo. It wasn't send me a verse, I'll put you on the song. Okay, here it is, done. You could tell these two actually worked together. In the second half of 20's verse, he goes I'll play it in a little bit, but he says oceans, oceans, we in the wave like an ocean, and sort of does a few little lines like that. But then I'm going to play the second half of Wiz Khalifa's verse. What time does it start at? 2:30? Yeah, 2:30. Go 911. He's got such a good ear for melodies. Stop all my damn weed. But yeah, so this is Wiz Khalifa. That's so clever. That's not a chorus. So it's just cut in, what 24 was doing earlier.
Yeah.
Wave like the ocean. That's so clever. So yeah, at the end of the day, where 20 is right now, he's a bit of a copy and paste artist, bit cookie cutter. The only thing that separates him from other artists is his voice.
Right.
But he does need more than that. So hopefully over the coming times he can develop a little something extra just to take his music that one step further away from all the cookie cutters out there.
A little some.
Yeah. But
Some.
this album was pretty much that. It was cookie cutter with a little bit extra. But he needs a bit more than just a little bit extra.
There you go.
Yeah, but because it did have a little bit, I'm rating it a 6 out of 10. Maybe 5.5.
6 out of 10, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was decent. So well done, 20.